Mirror's Edge Catalyst is the best 8-year-late soft reboot of a perfectly good game with unnecessary RPG elements and tacked on open world ever! I mean it! No game has ever missed the mark this beautifully. Mirror's Edge is primarily about running really fast from one place to another, and for lack of a better word, exploiting flaws in the verisimilitude to overcome obstacles in the level design. And that made the original Mirror's Edge pretty damn good. So how exactly does taking a wrench to that formula make it better? Or at the very least make it an experience worth existing alongside the original? Well, by changing the way the game feels. And all but completely rubbing out the sense of urgency that the first game shoved down your throat with 2 core changes to gameplay. Those being the aforementioned RPG elements and open world. And to a lesser extent the dialogue, but honestly, if you're playing a Mirror's Edge game without just blasting your own playlist over the top of it, you're living life wrong.
Ring, ring, banana phone. Ring, 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 banana phone.
See, the dialogue before a lot of the side missions consists of telling you that this thing is fragile.
They're quail eggs from Neridia Nova, so you don't want to break them or there'll be hell to pay.
Or that this thing is illegal.
There's a man waiting for this to be delivered, and he's getting rather impatient. And I would too if I had his habit. Don't let Kruger Sec see you.
And not that this thing needs to get somewhere in a short amount of time, even though it does. It gives the runners a bit more purpose in the world, like implying that the real postal service either doesn't take care of your shit or snoops through it. So the timer really only exists for the player's benefit, or frustration, depending on whether or not you bought this game on accident, but I digress. In the first Mirror's Edge game, you played Faith Connors, a girl with a particular set of skills who got right back in the saddle after recovering from a fall that, totally almost killed her.
That fall took you out of commission for a while.
Or something. It's not really important. The important thing is that she uses those skills to make her way through a bunch of very tightly constructed levels as efficiently as possible. In Mirror's Edge Catalyst, you are Faith Connors, a girl who just got out of prison and apparently forgot everything she used to know about going fast during her stint in the pokey. And that's about where I stopped paying attention to the story of Mirror's Edge Catalyst because they immediately force you into a scripted slow walk sequence and I was like, skip. And honestly, the first 4 or so seconds of each subsequent cutscene didn't exactly make me wish I had been paying attention the whole time.
What's the beat?
I think one of your runner friends is...
So, fuck it. I mean, we're here to run around. Let's just cut to the chase. But we're missing a lot of skills. We can't roll when we land anymore. We can't quick turn during wall runs anymore. We can't even tuck our legs up when we jump anymore. What's the point? So wait, I have to run obstacle courses to gain experience to use the skills I need to run the obstacle courses? Way to pad out the gameplay, EA, but at some point you realize, oh wait, I bought this game so I could run the obstacle courses? So, way to put gameplay in your game, EA. Fuck you for forcing me to do stuff that I was gonna do anyway, you assholes. And the way the world map is laid out, you end up taking detours all the time because they tend to put story missions really far apart from each other, and they put a lot of starting points for mini obstacle courses and side missions on the fastest path to the next main mission. So you'd see a delivery mission on your way to the next story mission and be compelled to take it because you need the experience anyway. Probably because you want to buy the next combat upgrade because the combat in this game sucks. And maxing out health and damage upgrades is the only way to make it even remotely bearable. Which I will point out works in the game's favor because it means more running around on the rooftops, which is what you're here for. So you're gonna take that delivery mission.
I trust payment and such has already been taken care of.
And I'm pretty sure they are designed to take you as far away from your intended destination as possible. So you're constantly running new paths around the rooftops, and perhaps even tackling some player-made challenges. They're sort of like Dark Souls invasions, where instead of murdering you, they just taunt you by saying, hey, look at how fast I ran this course that I also invented. What does it mean for a game to be so much greater than the sum of its parts? Especially when each individual part looks like shit. Locking off basic skills at the beginning of the game forces you to run the side missions instead of tackling the story missions. And the wide open nature of the level design forces you to do a lot more exploring than you would normally do in a speedrun focused game like this. These changes significantly slow down the tempo of the game between missions, and couple that with the fact that the waypoints are usually turned off by default at the start of missions, and that they don't show you the fastest route anyway, because the fastest route will inevitably become glitchy bullshit, makes you feel like you're never wasting your time. Also doesn't hurt that the story is whatever the opposite of engaging is. So Mirror's Edge Catalyst is paradoxically a calming Zen-like experience that was probably written off by everyone who might have otherwise cared because it was a decade-late soft reboot with tacked-on counterproductive design choices. And those can never be good, right? Oh, and maybe I should mention that they refined the controls a little and that the collision detection is better on most things? Nah, you don't need to know that. Anyway, I'm sorry if Mirror's Edge Catalyst did for the genre of shitty soft reboots what Spec Ops The Line did for military shooters. This video was made possible due to the support of Nuria on Patreon. If you would like a video such as this on the topic of your choice, or would just like to support me so I can continue to do this full time, please consider supporting me on Patreon.